This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
All right, let's welcome in Richard Davenport on the McClarty Daniel Hotline. RD, congratulations on you and your wife Megan's move to Northwest Arkansas. Have you guys gotten settled in here yet?
Pretty much. You know, there's always boxes and things that you have to, kind of continue to work on for probably for a few more weeks. But overall, we're pretty pleased. We've been here a little over a week, and it's kind of nice to not have a bunch of junk surrounded you.
You know, when you move, you just really need to start with the dumpster anymore. Now, we've lived in our house 15 years. I think we moved. It'd take a fleet of dumpsters to just clean it up. You know, get all the stuff. You know how it is. You accumulate stuff over time.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. We've done a pretty good job of not. We looked at our other place about. Don't get me wrong, we did, but it wasn't a lot. We accumulated some stuff, but we also what we did. We just gave a lot of it to Goodwill, and some of it we just threw away. I mean, the basic I guess decision how to process the extra stuff, which say, when's the last time we used it? Mm-hmm. And when you say it's been years, well, it's gone. We're just going to get rid of it. And that's basically what we did. And we even got rid of some more stuff once we got here. We gave some stuff to Goodwill up here. So it's kind of nice to be able to do that, and maybe some other people be able to use some of the stuff that we didn't.
I'm with Tommy. It seems like every time you move, you accumulate more and more stuff, and I don't have a significant other that I worry about hoarding. Sounds like that Laura might be a hoarder.
No, I mean, I'm just as guilty. I mean, so it's Ty, you are so wet behind the ears, you don't know yet. I mean, someday you'll be there and you'll figure out that it just gets beyond your control. I mean, things just happen.
Just part of it. I guess I'll reach.
Yes, dear. Yes, dear.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the common phrase. Well, Richard, I'd say Dave Van Horn hoarded a pretty good recruiting class this last cycle, ranked as the number one baseball class. You wrote a recent story on it in Whole Hog Sports. Just kind of give our audience kind of an outline of why this class ended up being what it was. And I think that might be back-to-back, if I remember that right.
Yeah, collegiate baseball, what they did, it came out yesterday. They rated the baseball classes after, everybody's on campus, because obviously a lot of guys that you sign, I mean, not a lot, but quite a few, obviously sign pro contracts and never make it to campus. Well, these rankings were after everybody got to campus, and then they kind of re-ranked. So Arkansas was number one, and they noted that Arkansas had a record 7 perfect game top 100 prospects get on campus. I think Arkansas had around 11 or 12 beforehand, and obviously some of those signed pro contracts. But then UCLA was second, and they had 5 guys in the top 100 on campus. And then I think Florida State, and Texas Tech had 3. So this is a pretty dominant class, and it'd be interesting to see, which guys contribute, this coming season.
Richard, speaking of number ones, depending on what recruiting service you follow, the number one recruits in this last cycle were Jalen Braxton and Luke Haas. Luke had a tremendous game last week against LSU. Jalen played about 25 snaps. I wouldn't be surprised if he started this weekend. What have you thought about these two true freshmen that have had such an impact this early on through 4 games?
Yeah, you're right. You figured that they would see the field. You figured they would contribute, but this early on, for them to have this much success is a tribute to them. Luke Haas, I mean, hey, let's face it, this guy. You don't want to put too much pressure on him, but he has a chance to be like I guess Treylon Burks at the tight end position. I mean, Treylon Burks. How he just contributed right off as a freshman, and you saw he was different. Well, same with Luke. I think he has a you think about the two Mackey Award winners at Arkansas and just what he's done just in the first few games. You start thinking this guy has a shot to be a potential Mackey Award winner. So he does not, and I've said this other places too. He looks like a guy that's his third or fourth year playing college football, and he's a true freshman. And obviously, being talented helped, but also being able to get on campus in January, go through off season and spring practice really helped. But his natural talent and his natural ability to make plays are two things that just jumps out at you. I mean that touchdown catch that he had against LSU. I mean, how he went up and got the ball. That was just big time. That's all you can say.
And he's a guy like Hunter Henry. I think about A.J. Derby a little bit. He's versatile. I mean, yeah, you can line him up. He can block. He can catch. But you can put him in the slot. You can put him in some other places on the field besides just next to the tackle to start the play.
Yeah, and that's something that, Tom Lemming, I talked to him and had him in yesterday's column, talked about Luke and how, what he thought of him going through the recruiting process and how he met up with him and was just really impressed with him. But talked about, he was about 6'3", about 220, 225 in high school. Now he's about 242. I don't know how much bigger he's going to get, but it seems like the trend is for smaller tight ends in the 240, 245 range. And for him to be able to do what he does, I mean, he played receiver in high school too, which, and maybe tight ends, top tier tight ends, they do that, maybe on a fairly regular basis just because it's high school and the level of competition. But I think he could obviously do the same, in the SEC, which is very unique for a guy his size.
Richard Davenport with us on the McClarty-Daniel hotline. Richard, what does this game mean from a recruiting standpoint this weekend? Obviously, it's off campus. You can't have official visits, but there's 28 guys, I think Ty said earlier, on the roster from the state of Texas. This game and its location, its venue, it clearly has an impact with his coaching staff when they get in living rooms.
Well, I think it helps a little bit. I think initially it kind of helped, probably more so because of the newness of playing in Cowboy Stadium and in Arlington. And I think it's a convenient sell for the coaching staff now, saying, you come to Arkansas, you're going to play, at least one time a year, and kind of in your backyard. But I just tend to think with the Dallas-Fort Worth area, about 4 or 5 hours away, it's a short trip from Fayetteville. I just don't think it's as big a deal as it was initially.
Now, on that subject, as we're talking again with Richard Davenport of the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette, Whole Hog Sports, McClarty-Daniel hotline, you think this one's going to be well attended? I know it's 11 a.m. Teams have combined for 3 losses. I mean, are we going to see a good showing come Saturday from both fan bases?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think that, and I could be totally wrong. The one attendance that I remember that it was not too long ago. I think it was 58,000. I think that's the lowest of since they've been playing in Arlington. I could be wrong, but I'm just off the top of my head. I'm thinking that may be for real as far as the numbers, but I tend to think probably around that to maybe 65 max. That's my guess, but I mean, I think with I think that there's a little bit of I don't know what you say. Each fan base is kind of it's old hat to go to Arlington, and the newness again. We're talking about the newness is kind of worn off, and obviously Arkansas at 2-2 back-to-back losses. It'll be interesting to see what the final numbers are.
Based on some of the stuff I've read, Richard, it sure seems like Rocket Sanders was looking good yesterday in practice. Are you under the impression he's going to play on Saturday?
Just going by what Ethan and Scotty said on Whole Hog Sports, it sounded pretty good, and I think other people thought the same thing. So it sounds like he's going to play. Even if he doesn't play, 25 to 30 snaps. I mean, just to get him out there and get him going again will help, and kind of, I guess if anything, kind of uplift the offense a little bit. I mean, that's your starting tailback, an all SEC guy. So that kind of gives you a little mojo. But it sure sounds like he's going to play Saturday.
Richard, we've had some questions this week on the text machine here on the McClarty Daniel hotline. People texting in about Walker White, the quarterback from Little Rock Christian, led his team to a dominant victory over Pulaski Academy last Friday night. He's committed to Auburn right now. A few questions about him and whether or not Arkansas still is showing some interest and some love. Where does Walker, in your mind, rank amongst the quarterbacks in this state, and is he solidly locked into the Auburn Tigers?
Yeah, he's solid to Auburn. I think potential-wise, he's about as good as they come nationally. I really do. Is he the finished product? No, I think he still has some work to do. But that's the case for just about every high school quarterback. But he's got all the tools. He's got the size. He's got the arm strength. He's got the football IQ. And he has a running ability to make things happen when the pocket kind of collapses. But he's pretty solid. Arkansas is pretty happy with what they have at that quarterback in the 24 class of KJ Jackson. He's having a good season. I get his stats every week, and post them on Friday. But he's having a good season. So I think both parties are pretty happy with what they got.
Yeah. And certainly one that would stand out. I know another player that's not going to Arkansas but committed to a Power 5 school is Lindsey out of Fayetteville. There's another quarterback people have asked about, and legacy name around the program, and he's committed to Minnesota.
Yeah, and he's every time I reach out to Casey Dick, he's throwing for 400 plus yards. Mm-hmm. So he's having a very good season. He's got good size too, about 6'3", 6'4" range, and I saw him play last year. I haven't seen him play this year, and I was impressed with him. But I think Minnesota got a steal. It'd be interesting to see how he develops there.
Yeah. All right, Richard Davenport with us every Wednesday, recruiting talk on Wednesday mornings. Richard, congratulations on the completed move, I guess. We're glad to have you here in our neck of the woods.
Oh, I'm glad to be up here. It's a little cooler. Not a major difference, but it's a little cooler. And I like those morning walks of being a little cooler. So, and Ruben does too.
Doesn't hurt your feelings at all, does it?
No, not at all.
All right, well, let's get together soon for a cold one.
Well, that sounds good, buddy.
BetOnline is your #1 source for all your betting needs. Get the latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use our promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online, where the game starts.